So any of my followers who are pond keepers know that this is probably the worst time of year if you live in cold climate, wintertime months like we do here in Pennsylvania. You know that it's that time to clear out the pond. Now, we saw on the weather that it was going to be 26 degrees out, and we said, oh, we better go out there and winterize this pond, which means all the water hyacinths are gone. We did that because they're invasive, and sorry about that, guys. They're invasive, and honestly, we could buy them next year for the goldfish when it's nicer out. Obviously, in the winter time, you have to make sure they have cover still, and that's why I put these in there for now. Believe it or not, most of the goldfish in here hide at the bottom. You probably can't see them right now. The water's kind of cloudy because I shut the waterfall off before it could filter. Now you guys know I use the waterfall as a filter, so I kind of didn't get all the dirt and debris out of the water I wanted to, but it's still better. Now, in case you guys are wondering why I'm using a pool net, it's a skimmer actually. The reason why is because in Pennsylvania we get these leaves off the trees and they fall into the pond. You can see that one right there is almost dead, but they come into the pond, and what that does is creates that guck on the bottom of the pond, and you want to get these leaves out of here as much as you can. So I use a skimmer. The skimmer is a better thing to use than a net. It gets everything up you need to get. If you can look closer, you can see the fish in there. But once the weather gets a little better, and like I said, it hit 20 degrees last night, I will turn the waterfall back on. You can see it's off right now. I'll clean all the debris out of there, but I'll turn it back on to filter this water out a little better before the winter time. And of course, you'll get that muck. They call it pond muck because of the plants dying, the leaves dying. And you can see the fish are at the bottom of the pond. There is some water hyacinth roots left, but I'm not really worried about that too much. Like I said, we did this real quick because it's going to be 26 degrees. Didn't want the pump to freeze over. That's the last thing you want in the wintertime. That's why you turn the pump off. This is an expensive pump, and you're pumping water to both sides. So you don't want to ruin that pump. But at the same time, you have to have some kind of water movement at the top of the pond, so the fish still have oxygen because of the cold weather. Now they're supposed to get back up to the mid-30s, and then a little higher than that. But we got a pond de-icer. This is actually is thermostat controlled, so when the temperature gets to about 35, that will go on, and it'll keep ice in a section where it won't ice the whole pond up, and the fish will still be good. That's why I have it kind of in the middle. I can't really get it to the middle because of the plug. The plug is right there. I can't really get it out further. The pump I can't get into the middle because I don't have waders yet, but we think that if you have enough water movement, agitation at the top of the pond, you should be good with the heater right next to it. It's just going to blow this warm water into the middle of the pond, and this whole section will be open for them. You can see they're at the bottom of the pond right now, and that's pretty much where the flow is going. So that's what you want. And this cost me about $30, and then the pump was about 20, so about $50 you could. And this pump is really good. You can see how much movement I'm getting. It pretty much goes throughout the whole pond. You can see it spreads it out. That's what you want. You might have to move it. It is under the water, and it's pushing the water out, so it's not pushing it from underneath and up, which they tell you you're supposed to do. But I want to see how this works, because I think I like the way that the icer is right there, and then I can move it to where it needs to be. Now, of course, I keep trying to move it, then it keeps coming back to me. But you know, we can leave it right there. Doesn't matter. We can leave it right there. It's fine. But I kind of want it a little bit out further, but I can't seem to get it to go that far. But I'll keep trying. Push the kind of like push the cord that way. But I think if you keep trying, sorry guys, I'm filming the rocks, but if you keep filming it that way, but you keep pushing it that way, should be okay. I don't want it to hit the pump, but we'll keep it right there for now. We got some cover for them. But yeah, I mean, this is, I did a lot of this coming up, building up to the weekend. It's not that bad yet. It's still in the upper 40s today. It'll be, you know, in the mid 30s. But anyway, using this skimmer, I got most of the stuff out of the water. And during the winter time, you want to keep doing that because, like I said, you don't want that muck once the spring hits. You want to get as much of these leaves out of here. And you can see the roots from the water hyacinths got all the way down to the bottom of the pond, which is a good thing. But they also grow to the bottom of the pond. You don't want that either. You will keep the roots in there. It may grow back next year. We don't know. We'll see. But you don't want to go too crazy. We get scooping up that dirt up. But we do want to get, like I said, once the weather gets a little bit nicer, it might hit in the 50s next week. I'm probably gonna turn the waterfall back on, just so it could pump, it could drain, it could filter the water that's in there right now. I think it'd be a good thing. So yeah, guys. This is what you gotta do in the winter. And you can see that pump works pretty good. That little pump is flowing the water all the way out to here, which is a good thing. I kind of want to make that a little sturdier, but you may have to do that. But right now, we're gonna leave it. I don't want to touch it because it's doing so good. You can see right there. It's pretty sturdy. It's not moving anywhere, so we're good. But you can see the fish swimming over to it. And don't forget, guys, when you start doing this stuff with the fish, when they start hibernating, you don't want to feed them. That's the worst thing you could possibly do. Because now if they poop in there, what happens is it dirties up the water, and then you have no way of filtering it out. So like I said, I stopped feeding these guys about 2 weeks ago. And they've been starting to hibernate, so they're still swimming around in there, which is a good sign, which means that we got enough water flow. You can see that big water hyacinth root. Let me get that thing out of there. But you can see the fish are swimming in there, which is a good sign. We got a powerful pump in there. Like I said, about $50. You can winterize your pond for the winter time. You can see the fish in there swimming around. This is enough flow. Like I said, we're still early in the season, but we'll see what happens, you know. And yeah, that's pretty much it. As far as the plants, I left some of the plants in there. If they die, they die. If they grow back, great. A lot of these plants are dead. It's a sad time of year, isn't it, guys? Anyway, that's the pond. You can see it's a little mucky right now, but we'll have to get in there. We'll turn that waterfall back on, and we'll get that stuff out of there and make it clear up before the winter time hits. Even if we don't, we could do it, you know, when the season ends. You know how clear that pond was the season. Anyway, real quick, guys, I don't want to make this video too long. I did finish enclosing the outside screened-in porch. This is for the winter time. We kind of secured it better because we had a little windstorm, but you can see it's not perfect, but I did it myself, or actually my wife helped me too, but it's good. It won't blow away, hopefully. We got some channels at Lowe's. These are just treated and painted white molding, and the rest is the clear panels that you get for usually for chicken coops or outside roofs. But we got that. Yeah, probably costs us about $200, $300 around there. About, yeah, between $200 and $300, which is not really that bad actually. But we enclosed it, and we do have a space heater in here. You can see a space heater. This is my kitty cat, and of course you got the indoor pond. that we can keep pretty warm in there, so we're not gonna have to worry about that. And of course, I want to show you guys what the plants. A lot of the plants, like I said, the water hyacinths are invasive, so I don't really want to keep them in there in the wintertime anyway, with all the animals we get going in there. So we pretty much left them out there. I did bring these plants in. These are the pappus, and I don't know what that's called. It's some kind of a grassy tree. I'm gonna try to keep them in here. If they survive, if they don't, whatever. Doesn't really make a difference to me. But I don't want to leave them out there in the cold. It's too cold for them. They'll shrivel up and die. These plants are dead. The arrow plants. I tried to keep them alive, but didn't work out, which is perfectly fine. We just buy new ones next year. And the lilies, of course, didn't do anything. But this, of course, you guys already see the fish room. But this is in addition to my fish room. Makes it look like a jungle in here. People ask me, why don't you put the water hyacinths in the fish tank? I would, but the problem is that the fish tanks are covered, and there won't be a lot of room for them to grow. So I just threw them out, and we'll get new ones next year. They're $5 a piece. Anyway, that's the update, guys. I wanted to show you what we did with the pond. We pretty much let it go, and we're going to fix, like I said, the rocks and everything. We'll probably fix that next season. I want to keep the rocks in there so the fish have somewhere to go in case of anything chasing them or anybody hunting them. We want to make sure they have cover. Anyway, if you can't own them, rehome them, guys. And remember, we'll be here making videos all winter. This is really a time of year where people get back into their fish hobby. So we'll do more videos in the fish room. Any updates, we're going to continue doing updates. And that's pretty much it, guys. Till next time. See you next time. And have a good day. All that good stuff. If you can't own them, rehome them. And keep an eye for the next video, guys. See you next time. See ya.